Apparently it helps when there's somebody on camera. I didn't press the button right away. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. It's Saturday night. I don't usually stream Saturday nights because I'm busy, tied up with family stuff. But I had a free Saturday night, and with the fall coming around, I'm going to have more free Saturday nights. So I said, what the hell? Might as well jump on YouTube, hang out with some people, and talk about all this stuff we're really interested in. So tonight, I've got a bunch of people that have either been in the community a while or newer to the community. They've got some fresh faces, fresh insight on a lot of the topics we've been talking about. And I just want to, not that I'm anybody, but give them an opportunity to introduce themselves to my audience. If you don't know them, most of you guys know these guys. You voted for most of them to come in all day. So anyways, I'm going to be bringing them on, and I'll tell you a little story first. So when I first came and really got into the home arcade community, I didn't follow any of the content creators originally that were doing this. How I got in was RGT85 was making these videos on Arcade 1-Up, so I was buying them, but I wasn't watching a lot of content. And the more I got interested, started finding people like Retro Ralph. I found P-Dub's Arcade Loft. I found Cool Toy, Tech Buzz, Glenn's Retro Show, and I was watching all these guys. Then I started making content or videos. I hate that word content. And the cool thing was it became a community because I started making videos about it and all these people embraced me. So I kind of want to do the exact same thing and really try to bring everybody together. And that's the idea from tonight. There's people here that I know, people I haven't talked to that much, but I'm looking forward to getting to know them better. And maybe you guys will get something out of it too, hopefully. And hopefully you guys go subscribe to their channels, go hang out with them and get to know them a little bit better too. So I'm going to bring them on, all of them on. I told them I was going to bring them on one by one, but I'm going to bring them all on and then let them introduce themselves and tell you what they do on YouTube. So first up, we've got the Cornercade. You guys might not know this guy. He's never asked to be on a stream before, so Cornercade is here. We got the bad guy, Mike Worley. What's happening, brother?
What's going on, Michael?
Not much yet. It's going to get wild. We've also got the Garage Gamer. Now, you guys may know the Garage Gamer. He's been around forever. I remember me and you used to be in the chats on 1-Up Weekly, but you were Garage Gamer on Instagram back then. So I always had to throw that in there. Garage Gamer on Instagram. But now you're on YouTube too. So I want people
on Instagram. Yeah.
Still on Instagram too, but I want people to start watching some of your stuff you put out there. He does honest reviews. Well, then he puts up honest reviews, and then I tell him, take that down. No one says honest review.
Whatever gets the best click rate, Michael. I don't know what the good click rate is supposed to be.
No, you never follow that. We got PD7 here. PD7,
hey
great
guys.
Guy. I'm so excited that you made time to be here tonight, man. Thank you very much. And last but not least, second last but not least, we got Biggie D's Arcade. Daniel, so nice to see you, my man. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Last but not least, one more person. New YouTuber by the name of T-Roll. Have you guys ever heard of T-Roll?
Reminds me of Socko.
Yeah, a little bit. All right,
new.
guys, I'm going to bring up the chat and see what people are saying. I know people want to talk a lot about what's going on in the home arcade space, but before we get into that, I want to give you guys an opportunity to kind of say who you are, what you do on YouTube, and, introduce yourself. Not that you need an introduction, but just in case. So, Danny, Cornercade, how about you? You start.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Mike B, and the rest of the crew for having me on the show here. So I am co-owner of the Cornercade with me and Mrs. Cornercade, and we pretty much do review gameplay, cab builds. We're going to start doing like live unboxings. We do a live now weekly show, just like a Chill and Chat podcast that we kind of started up. And we pretty much do everything like home arcade related. So we're now 9 subs away from 900, which is insane to me.
That's awesome.
Because, nice. Yeah, it's really cool, man. The home arcade community has embraced us and with just such positivity and open arms, essentially. And it's really cool. Like my wife, who doesn't even want to do podcasts, she's like, hey, when are we gonna do the next podcast? Like, so she's completely turned around just because of the love and support from you guys in the community. So I really do appreciate it. But that's pretty much us in a gist. We like to have fun and we like to talk home arcade and arcade 1-Up. So.
Yeah, I got to give you a lot of credit too, because you've got to be like one of the easiest going people in the world. I mean, Zohar, like Zohar is all over you guys all the time, and like you just take it with like such good natured humor. You're just enjoying it, enjoying the time. So kudos for doing that and being a good dude, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Mike.
Bad guy, Mike Worley. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your YouTube channel, any other shows you're involved with, anything like that.
Sure. Yeah, Mike, thank you. First off, thank you for having me. It's great to meet you in person. Never really ever got to do that before. And so I'm still fairly new to YouTube. I've only been doing this for maybe 6-7 months, so my channel's still pretty young. I definitely do home arcade content, but it's only if it's fresh. I mean, there's enough guys out there, that do the review and the breaking and the news thing. So you probably won't really see that kind of stuff from me. I mean, you got your mod guys and your tech guys. I'm the play the damn game guy. That's who I am. Almost everything I do will have a comedic undertone to it. Do a lot of sketches, incorporate home arcades and video games in it whenever I can. I'm probably more of a console gaming channel, I guess. Now I've kind of gravitated towards that. I mean, my main focus is that's been before I even got into the home arcade thing. It was console gaming, and I probably have a collection, probably over 1,000 cartridge-based games. And my big one is the NES collection I have back there. Over 450 games. Trying to go for a complete collection. Don't know if I'll ever get there, given the price of some of these games.
Complete licensed or complete collection?
I'm going complete collection.
Yeah.
So I have some of the unlicensed, well, I can't think of the ones off, like the Bible Adventures, whoever makes those, you know what I mean?
Oh, they're Wisdom Tree.
Yeah, Wisdom Tree. Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to so anything I can get my hands on pretty much, but I'm sure there's some of them out there, like the the ones in stadium events and the little Samsons. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow to pay $3,000-4,000 for a cartridge.
So I had Little Samson. I paid a lot for it. I paid $500, but I ended up selling it for like $1,700.
Wow.
So so I had Little Samson. I had a lot of the expensive games. I started as a retro video game channel too, but I never ever started as a retro video game channel. I always say my channel's just about me. I could cover whatever any day, but I did a lot of retro gaming stuff, and I did do a show on collecting a full NES collection. And it's so sad, man. I got 85% of the way there, and then I had a kid.
Yep, that's when my collection came to a screeching halt whenever we had the kid.
Yeah.
So I still try to pick up games everywhere, anytime that I can. Not be just for the NES, but I also collect for Super Nintendo, Sega, all those kind of consoles. And a founding member, if you want to say, of the Arcades Anonymous show. We stream every Wednesday night, 9:00, with a great group of guys: Nerd Lounge Master 84, Multicade Matt, GI Joel, Chaotic BPR, and the guy right down there, Mr. 1000, and PD7.
Chaotic BPR shirt.
Look at that. We even got some merch.
Yeah, and when we do this, because I want to keep doing this. It probably won't be every week right now, but when I hit the fall and my family stuff I do in the summertime's gone, I'll probably do this a lot more. I just think it's a fun idea to get a bunch of people together, different people every time, and just talk about this stuff. So, Chaotic BPR, I saw your message earlier. I said, send me your email. I would have had you on too. Definitely next time, brother. I am so sorry. I was scrambling trying to get everybody together today. I had to contact people over Discord, over Instagram, over Facebook. I didn't have everybody on one distro list. So sorry I didn't grab you earlier.
That's where the Arcade 1-Up app would come in handy. Boom, one-stop shop, done.
Actually, I don't even know if you have Facebook, Danny. I contacted your wife. I was like, is Danny allowed to come out and play?
No, I don't have, at the end of the day, guys, I don't have any social media. My wife said a married man doesn't need social media. So there you go.
Same here, Danny.
Yeah, if you see a listing on Marketplace, it's his wife selling those arcades.
Yeah, right?
All right, guys, so moving on. Garage Gamer. Garage Gamer is an OG in the home arcade space. You've been making videos for a while now. Does some good stuff. Really great guy. Guys, go check him out. Garage Gamer, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Michael. I think I got started watching you and the other guys originally, Cool Toy, Retro Ralph, P-Dubs, and it's just kind of evolved to where things are now, I'd say this year I haven't bought any of the arcade one-ups or anything like that, but I'm going more into consoles. I want to be that old guy that's still playing the new stuff that's coming out from Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, and that's how I like to feel young now, and makes me feel good. So that's kind of, and my channel is going to be about everything, because I bought toys, movie. I don't know. I'm into a lot of stuff, and I got a lot of stuff, good stuff coming. I'm going to some cool cons that I think some of you guys might be interested in, and it should be exciting starting next month. So please subscribe if you're so inclined.
Now, Garage Gamer, I thought you were an Xbox controller collector. That's why I had you on here. You're my fellow Xbox controller collector.
I think I've got at least 10. Yeah.
Oh, it's wild, isn't it? I've never been a multiple controller guy, and this past year, I just keep buying them. It's stupid. I got to stop myself, actually.
They're so nice, though.
They are. That like the Stellar Shift, that's where I got to stop. I'm like, that's perfection. I'm good there. I'm not going to get anything else. I saw you picked up a couple more.
I'm hoping they come out with a Forza Motorsport one next month.
Nostalgia has that, actually. The special, not the Motorsport one. Yeah, he has the Horizon one.
I have that one too. I think he got his sent from Xbox for free for being a creator. But yeah, that's a beautiful controller.
So word to the wise, if you guys ever talk to Nostalgia, and you might not know this, but Nostalgia was actually one of the prominent early arcade one-up and home arcade YouTubers, and he stopped making videos because he started working for AtGames. But anyways, if you talk to Nostalgia is in this Xbox creator program. But if you go to his LinkedIn and read it, he's like, works at Xbox. And I'm like, no, you don't, dude. You just you get a couple things to review. Relax, man. All right, PD7, what's happening, brother? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I never knew if you were serious about Nostalgia working for AtGames. Whenever you say it, I didn't know if it was a joke or.
Nope.
And Nostalgia had great reviews. I watched a lot of his reviews when I first started looking at arcade one-ups.
Oh yeah.
And it's been about a year that I've been on doing content, making videos, and I started off doing gameplay, doing some reviews, and that Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe really boosted the channel. And I want to give thanks to two people with us tonight. Danny, if it wasn't for you posting on your community page, I would have never known that Mortal Kombat was at Best Buy that day. I rushed over. Thank you. You really boosted the channel. And Mike told me, he goes, if you get this, Phil, you could be the first to do a review. And
yeah,
bad guy, thank you. And from there, we started doing walk-in talks, and it's kind of the ritual here. Every Monday, we're uploading a new video. Just got done with the video today, and I'm starting another series called Wristbands Required. More of a nostalgic video. It's early in the process, but stepping a little bit away from like home arcades sometimes and covering other stuff, but anything to bring me back to that childhood, 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So when I heard Wristbands Required, I was like, is this about strippers? Because usually when you go to the strip club, they make you wear a wristband.
I got the idea from a free play unlimited arcade in the area, and I said, that's a catchy name. I'm going to use it. So
yeah, smart. Biggie D, what's happening, my brother? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. So I've been covering arcades now, home arcade, for about a year. I started in September of last year, so I've been doing it almost one full year now. But I started out watching originally Justin Console Kits, Retro Ralph, when they did their show. Yeah. And then shortly after that, I had found Super Game Room Dudes. So I was watching P-Dubs, you, Michael B., Nostalgia. And actually, I remember Nostalgia from back in when he was doing the PlayStation Classic. He was doing when he was doing that and the USB sticks. And so I'd actually been watching him well before home arcade even.
That's Nostalgia's bread and butter. Do you know that Nostalgia makes one YouTube video a year, and he is still growing faster than anybody in the home arcade space? Just because those PlayStation hack videos are evergreen, right?
Yes.
Everybody just keeps going back to them and throwing them up.
He was one of the only YouTubers doing it at that time, and everybody was buying their PlayStation Classic, and there weren't enough games on it whenever he started those videos, so everybody was subscribing, watching his stuff immediately when he started doing that.
Yeah.
His channel blew up. But I've been covering home arcade for about a year. Arcade went up mainly, but also AtGames, iArcade. And now that iArcade's out of business, I'm going to be covering all the modding that's going to be happening, side loading of games, things like that.
Yeah, you can see that Retromania cabinet there in the background. That looks oddly familiar for some reason. T-Roll, does that look familiar to you? And last but not least, we have T-Roll. T-Roll is a relatively new YouTuber. He has the same camera setup and sound setup as Detroit Love, apparently, because I can hear everything that's happening in his house.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me on. For the last 5 years, I have been director, producer, and co-writer on the P-Dubs Arcade Loft channel, but I'm tired of that gatekeeping son of a bitch keeping me from getting my own shine. I want my flowers. I am here. I am launching, that's right, officially tonight, my YouTube channel. That's right, T-Roll Gaming, live on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, all that kinds of stuff. I hate it when he says that. It's so stupid. 4 years of him saying all that kinds of stuff. Forget him. He sucks.
T-Roll, you are one of a kind, my man. I think that your channel is going to fly, my brother. Where is P-Dubs now?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably somewhere licking some CEO's asshole. Who knows what he's doing?
That is accurate. Well, T-Roll, do you know the guys here? Have you met any of them before?
No, but they look like a handsome bunch, especially
Right.
this one right here. How you doing? How you doing?
Couple comments there. Oh, mid-roll Muppets, Scott Dworkin says. Anyways, guys, now that we introduce you, I got to catch up because I do get a couple of these super chats, but I'm not going to run the pinball money video tonight. I'm not going to put that evil on you guys. You don't deserve that. I'll take all that smoke myself. So anyways, let's see. I really hope I didn't miss some. I know Kevin Clausen threw a bunch out there. So, Kevin, if I missed some of yours, I am very sorry. Let me just catch up. My God. So Kevin Clausen threw a $2 super chat here. He had a question earlier that I missed. Kevin, if you can throw it back up, man, I will just read it out anyways.
At $2? Why are you being so cheap? Seriously.
T-Roll, you're going to get me in trouble, brother. Super chat from Stringer Films. Nostalgia took John D's job at 1UP. Shots fired. Ooh, Stringer Films. Thank you very much. And then Kevin with another $2 super chat. Thanks, Kevin. With this $2, please divide so everyone gets 33 cents. All right, guys, after this, can you please send me your PayPal or Venmo, whatever works best? I'll get you your 33 cents. All right, guys, so I'll get that off the... Finn's Baspin says, P-Dub's off his medication again.
Most likely. Most likely.
All right, so, guys, I got into Arcade 1UP because it was something that really was a gap in my life. Like, I live on the small island off the coast of Canada. There's nowhere to go play classic arcades. Like, that part of my life was gone. It just disappeared. So when these came out, it seemed like, you know, this was the closest thing I was going to get. I fell in love with it. I bought, like, every single machine except for, like, 5 or 6. Really got all in on it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what got you guys interested in home arcade and how you started buying these machines and, you know, get into this hobby and now making YouTube content. Let's start with Biggie D.
So I started it just based on my, I guess, desire to want to create content for home arcade. I was watching you guys out there do your thing, and I was just thinking, you know, maybe I can do it. You know, maybe I can at least get this thing started and see where it goes. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty good with graphic design, so I kind of use that to create some good thumbnails, and that kind of grabbed some attention of some viewers early on, I think. And then after that, I started implementing some gameplay, doing some live streaming gameplay starting out because I wasn't really comfortable being on screen. And then shortly after that, I started doing like a weekly show, but it was a pre-recorded weekly show. And then I turned that into a live show, and I've just been going with that, and it's been growing and it's been successful. I've been enjoying myself. You know, really that's the main goal for me and my channel is I just want to have a good time. Yeah. I want to discuss things, you know, that are things that I enjoy. I don't want to be required to discuss something that I don't want to discuss. So that's kind of how my channel's formed and started. And it's just been something that's grown more quickly than I thought it would. And I've been really happy with it.
So yeah, a big boost for you is your ability to do really good thumbnails. Your graphic arts abilities are, I don't know what it's called. That's one of the things a lot of people struggle. Graphic design. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that people struggle with. I'm not the best at making thumbnails, but I try my best. I struggle through. I'm one of these people. I refuse to pay anybody to do anything, so I'll kill myself to try to learn how to do it. So, but there's also no shame in it. Like, there's this guy Mason Conrad out there. He makes awesome thumbnails. I think he's done some work for you, T-Roll, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you guys just want a hand with a couple thumbnails, or even just advice on how to do stuff with Photoshop, he does lessons and stuff like that. So check him out, or even kind of hit each other up. That's one of the things we did when we were starting out. One of the things we still do today. We'll bounce thumbnails off each other, ask for advice, and that's how it goes. Scott Dworkin
I actually heard Retro Ralph. He's probably the biggest in home arcade. He's kind of outside of home arcade now, but that's where he started. And he had said, your thumbnail is the biggest part of your video, because that's the first thing everyone sees when they're scrolling through. If they've never seen you before, that's what's going to trigger them to click on you. And that's the first step. It's the most important part. And a lot of people kind of forget about that. I think they do the video, and it's a really good video, and then it never gets seen because it gets lost in this endless YouTube search, and algorithm.
Yeah, and people hate it. People hate clickbaity titles, but sometimes you gotta put a worm on that hook, right? You can't just put the video out there. So as much as people hate the clickbaity videos, and what's the other thing people really hate? People really hate like the faces on stuff. Like, I remember a bunch of people telling me, like, well, why do you always put your face in your video? And I was like, I don't know. Everybody does it. Seems to work. So I'm gonna put my face in the video.
Yeah, Cornercade, I don't know where he got his skills from, but he's been doing some pretty good thumbnails lately.
Yeah, they look good.
I do it all on my mobile app too, like on my phone. So
very cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, really quick. I'm sorry. The super chat thing, and I love them. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. High Scores on Tap says, congrats on the channels. Thank you very much, High Scores on Taps. We've also got Kevin Clausen here. Kevin says, $3. Little disappointed 19K Fox isn't on the show. It would be too attractive. There's too many good-looking guys here. If you had 19K Fox, I mean, that's it. That's just like the internet would explode. Stringer Films. Well, no, Nostalgia would take us down a level. He's a bit of a he's a troll. He's a troll in two ways: the way he talks and the way he looks. So we don't need that. I tried getting into arcade one-ups, but I'm too big. Stringer Films. A lot of you guys know Stringer Films. Yeah, but Stringer, not everybody can go out and find like a $6,000 arcade for $150, man. Come on. Not all of us have your mad skills, brother. All right, PD7. How did you get into home arcade, my man?
Seeing these at Walmart, 2019, walking past like NBA Jam, Turtles, and I always said, if I see X-Men, I'm totally getting it. And then 2021 November hits, you see all the leaks, X-Men's out. I pick it up and I said, I'm good.
Yeah,
this is all I needed. And then I got Golden Tee and Turtles in Time, Capcom Legacy, and then it just got out of control. I'm sitting on 18 of them, 19 if you count this countercade behind me.
Yeah.
Not to mention what I bought for my parents. They have the Attack from Mars pinball and a Ms. Pac-Man party cade, but it's addicting and it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
And you run into the point now where, Danny, you're with me on this, that Time Crisis coming out. We're going to have to sell something to bring something in. That's where a lot of us are at. And that's too good of a cabinet to pass up. And I mean, it's just, Biggie, I mean, it's so fun talking about this and getting all these arcade one-ups at games, iArcades that, it's awesome to have this at home. And, having this on the TV, having the Bobby Sarah, we have all these games, but some of us want that luck. We want that replica of an arcade, and that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, and it's a weird conversation with people because they're like, "Why do you need that arcade one up? You can play that game on a multicade." And I was like, "Why do I need to get the NES Classic? I could play that game on a Raspberry Pi." It's because the NES Classic has that controller, it has a level of nostalgia the multicade won't provide. Like, can you imagine somebody doing a show like on Mondays about multicades, and like that's the only thing they talk about? Like, how brutal would that be?
But yeah, talking about Walmart, that's where my journey started with Arcade One Up. Was I walked into a Walmart one day, saw that they had them there. I was super interested in them. Came across Justin Console Kits, and he told me about the $75 Final Fight, and I went up there and paid cash for that, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, you got a great deal on that. And I want to say that, I mean, if it wasn't for you, Mike, and P-Dubs and 19K Fox, Beacon, and Justin, you know, this is how I found out about Arcade One Up, home arcades. And, you know, we watch you guys, we see this stuff, and it makes us want to buy it. And then, you know, here we are making content, making videos about it. You started all of us, and, you know, I really appreciate it.
I don't know how to react to that. So anyways, T-Roll, you take all the credit for that, brother. Thank you very much. $4.99 from Zohar here, console fanboy. Who's your favorite of the new YouTubers on this channel? Put them in order. By the way, this chat is for Booga Sauce. He's in love with me. I don't think Booga Sauce is in love with you. He said as much that he thinks I'm going to let you run over the show here now. So anyways, I'm not going to do that, console fanboy. You know not. My favorite is T-Roll, and that's all I'll say. That's the easiest way to get out of this. Thank you for the super chat, brother. All right. Garage Gamer, you've been here since the very beginning. I remember seeing you on One Up Weekly. That's how we got to know each other in the chat. Tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got into this hobby.
Yeah, I just remember watching Cool Toys videos originally, and I think it was because I was into toys at the time, and I can't stay focused on what I'm interested in, so I'm always moving. And so when that happened in 2018, I was able to get Street Fighter 2 at Fry's Electronics. Rest in peace, because you guys went out of business. But I got that one there, and then I got the Atari 1201, and I just kept going, Galaga. And I think I bought at least 20 of them, but I've sold many of them off. But it is very addicting. For me, it's all about, if I want to get a cabinet now, it's got to have some nostalgic pull, and I played it in my childhood, and that's where I get in trouble, is if I'm buying stuff that it doesn't give me that sense of just happiness, and I need to be more wise with my money, and I'm buying a ton of stuff, and I just need to be more selective, and that's kind of where I'm at. But I love having fun and getting new stuff. So
yeah, I don't play. If you follow this guy on Instagram, he buys everything, limited run games, everything.
Yes.
And I'm just like, what are you doing, man?
Well, I remember when MVC2 came out, Garage Gamer was buying a lot of stuff, but there was a point where he said, I'm going to stop doing that. And that was about a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I think I maxed out my credit cards. Really? And yeah, that's not good. I remember like when they weren't that bad at all. So I'm going down now, and it feels good. So
you're just buying games, and I see you're doing a lot of unboxings and gameplay on those console games.
Yeah, exactly. No, and if there's something from Arcade One Up or one of these other companies, New Wave Toys, that if it's going to be, if it looks good, I'd definitely be interested in it, and we'll see. That Time Crisis cabinet doesn't interest me right now because I didn't really play it in the arcades. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if some of you guys buy it.
I'm gonna get it on day one.
So yeah,
we'll come back to Time Crisis. So before we get there, Bad Guy Mike Worley, how did you get into home arcade, my brother?
Well, I kind of stumbled into it almost by chance. I mean, I had never heard of Arcade One Up or AtGames or any of them. And I'm a console gamer. That's just what I am. And but I do have a lot of fond memories and nostalgia for arcades, and it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's the one I always played when I was a kid. I loved it. So I thought, I have the space, maybe I'll look into just buying an arcade, a full-size arcade. So as I'm researching and looking this up, I see this little 3/4 scale, and I'm like, what the heck is this thing? This is back in like 2019, I think, and I'm like $4.99 or $3.99. I'm like, I'm in. So I bought it, got it home, built it. I'm like, this thing's fantastic, And it was supposed to be kind of like a one-off thing. I never really thought it was going to go into anything more than that. And so then they released Star Wars, and I'm like, well, okay, now I got to get this one. And yeah, it just kind of spiraled out of control from there. And then I started looking on YouTube because I heard rumors X-Men was going to be around. And I stumbled across a show called was it One Up Weekly, I think, or Weekly One Up with Console Kits and Retro Ralph. And I'm like, wow, there's actually people out there that are talking about these things that I just happened to stumble across. And that's kind of how I got into it. And with the whole streaming thing, again, just got hooked up with the right people at the right time, and ideas were getting thrown around, and here I am. It just kind of happened, and I'm happy with it. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I met a lot of cool people, and I have no regrets so far. It's been great.
Yeah, that damn TMNT cab, that's what did me in too. Because I got the first Street Fighter, and you guys remember the first Street Fighter, it had a lot of issues, right? Like the audio was like weird mono, so you didn't actually get like when the guys got hit on this side of the screen, you never got the audio for it. There was apparently a patch or something you could do with it, and I never did. So the first Street Fighter, like, it was cool to have Street Fighter at home, but it wasn't the best cab. But then when I got Turtles, I fell in love with everything. That was it. That was when everything went to hell. Then I got Mortal Kombat, and then I got everything.
Yep, like Garage Gamer, credit cards were just getting swiped all the time, and more cabinets kept showing up. And I still have my original TMNT. I'm itching for a new one, though.
I really hope
keep
they
my
do.
Fingers crossed for an XL or something like that.
It's got to be XL for me. Like I don't just want another Turtles
with the original artwork.
Yeah,
that original artwork's a big deal. So yeah.
What about you, Danny? Cornercade. How did you get into this wild hobby?
So it probably happened over the pandemic. We have a 1 and a 3-year-old, so we had a couple of pandemic babies, and I was console gaming at the time, just kind of casually. And when you go to put the headset on, you're playing, Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. My kids, God bless them, they would always come up to me and just, hey, Dad, that kind of thing. Like, I couldn't really play like I used to play when I was by myself. It's a new life now, so I'm a dad, So I kind of ditched that and, like, obviously focused on the kids and stuff. And I was like, I was on YouTube one night, and I know Third Floor Arcade with Jason. Yeah. I stumbled upon his page, and I was like, what in the world? Like, is this a thing? Like, what is this? And so then that led me obviously down a wormhole of home arcade content. I checked your arcade out, Michael B. God, I remember your room tour when you reorganized everything and you had like different kind of rows instead of all face. It was great. I loved it. I was like, wow, this is
that was nightmarish.
Probably nightmare, yeah.
Oh God.
But so our first cab actually was from Walmart, and my wife at the time, I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about getting this. We don't make a ton of money. We got some pandemic money that I stashed away, and that's how we were able to build a cornercade with that. But I was like, hey, I'm gonna buy this Mortal Kombat cabinet. Like, I had to take all the car seats out and everything so it'd fit. Got it home, and she's like, what in the world is this? Like, she looked at me like I just
lost your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we built that, and I was like, oh man, when I was building it, I was like, it doesn't have the light up marquee. And I was like so disappointed. I didn't realize like there's peasant versions and all this other stuff. I was still a rookie. So we built it, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to build it, but I'm going to return it because I didn't want that. Long and short, my kids gravitated towards it, and they were playing like Mortal Kombat. And, I had, it was the Angel Wing one with, the Raiden side art. So I was like, This is what I used to play when I was a kid down at my local Poochie's hot dog shop in Chicago. Like, that's what I remember when my parents took me, and it was that like re-triggering of nostalgia that gets us all at the end of the day. And so long as I returned that, but I saw that my kids loved it, and I was like, wow, like maybe I could get one. So MVC1 was our first actual cabinet, and then I think it just was game over from there because I didn't really get to play that one in the arcades as much as I wanted to. And then we had 3, 4, and it just meticulated. And we actually started it in the corner of our living room, hence the name Cornercade.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's a little nostalgia factor for us, at least, of our little history. And the kids gravitated towards it. And I really just built this as a family get together and gathering instead of me just putting my headset on and being in my own zone, having dad time. We built it for the family, and it's taken off ever since. And then we ended up reorganizing our whole house and actually finding an actual room for the arcade. And now we were 18 deep. Mike B, tears right now. I sold Tron. Just because it didn't get a lot of gameplay in our home arcade.
I love
Beautiful
Tron.
looking cabinet. Yeah, beautiful cabinet. Like, it's definitely a showpiece. And, when people come over, it's like, wow, look at that. Like, it's cool. It lights up. But if they're not going to get gameplay, they got to go. So I sold that. I'm going to sell Big Blue to try to get Time Crisis. So. But we're 17 cabs deep right now. So
yeah, that's how it gets. Like, that's the hard part. Like, it's so exciting when you can just go out and like buy whatever you want. But then when you run out of room and you start kind of making decisions like what's gonna go to bring something else in, that's where it gets really hard, man, because you don't want to let anything go. Like, still to this day, I regret selling my original Centipede cab. I played the shit out of Centipede, but I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna get this Atari Tempest cab. So it's going to have Centipede on it. And no matter what happened, it's just never been the same again. With the vertical screen done right, they've never done another version. And I hate the fact I sold my Centipede cab. I would give anything just about to have it back.
Mike, at your highest, like your most cabinets, what was the most cabinets you had?
Well, that's a good question. So my maximum I could fit in my room was about 19 is the most I could fit in that room. That was the arcade room. And then I had about 6 outside of that. So I want to say it was 25, but I think it might have been more. So 52. I don't know exactly.
Split those.
Yeah.
Was it
and then
hard
you had
selling?
like a moment where you just decided I got to get rid of some of these.
Well, yeah. So what happened was, like, my wife was really cool with it because, like, I was lucky I had like a giant room downstairs, used to be our storage room, and of course I also had my office up here. But like, I was at the point where my wife was really mad because I had also taken over down in our basement. Used to be an apartment, so it was an income property, but we took it all over. So the big room was like the bedroom from that apartment, and then I started moving stuff out to where the kitchen area was. So I had like my XL arcades out there. So I had 3 more there, plus another 3 or 4 cabs in that space, including like the Pong pub table. And we had just had our son, and he was getting to be about 5-6 months old. We needed more space. And my wife was just like, come on, man. Like, what is this, a house or an arcade? So that's kind of the end of that. So turn things around. Yeah. All right. I got some super chats I got to get to, but T-Roll, how did you get into the home arcade business?
Well, my home arcade journey was kind of weird. I was born in a very sweaty shop in China, right? Very sweaty shop in China. Okay. And then I was placed in this dark container, and they sent me across the ocean. And I think I ended up in Brazil because everywhere I looked, I was in this warehouse and all the boxes and signs said Amazon. So I was in the Amazon, I must have been. And then P-Dubs purchased me for $29.99 of indentured servitude, and I ended up coming here, and he hired me as his director, writer, and producer of his channel. And that's how I got into the arcade business. It was truly horrifying.
Any regrets?
Not at all.
All right, guys, I got to catch up on these. Thank you so much, guys. Kevin Clausen, this $2 is just because we're happy Nostalgia isn't here. Oh, I'm happy too. Thank you very much, Kevin. That makes me happy. Stringer Films, for real, I can't fit in a 1-up. Got scars to prove it. I don't know if anybody can fit in a 1-up except for B's wife. I think she's the only person that fits in there well. Guys, if you haven't met him yet, Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, one of the nicest guys in the whole community, came out to see us in Chicago, always jumps into every show, throws up a message, super chat sometimes. What's up, Mike B and everyone? Hey, Teabag. I think he's talking about you, T-Roll.
Hello.
That's not a name you want. Here's a nice message from Emery Arcade for everybody here. Real talk, we all need to blame Third Floor Arcade with Jason. This is cool, Mike. Yeah, thank you very much, Emery Arcade. And it's not really an inside joke, but we all call Jason Third Floor Arcade with Jason between one fern because he doesn't do thumbnails. He just takes a really high-end picture of his cab, like in his bedroom, I think, next to the one like potted plant. So
That's right.
It's such a great setup, though. Like, it works for him.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen his tours. I mean, every time he puts something on there, we're watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny and Jason, sorry, they have the best arcades.
Oh yeah,
no doubt.
All right, guys. So let's start talking about some new stuff now. One of the things that's been a pretty big hot button issue for everybody this past year has been what's up with the rehashes. We haven't got a lot of new titles so far. It looks like it might only be 2 this year. I can't say anything because I think I know, but right now the only 2 that are out there in the ether was of course Fast and the Furious, and then now maybe Time Crisis in the near future. So how do you guys feel about that? You've got a lot of people in the echo chamber, I'll call it, or a lot of people in our space were always saying rehashes. But is that necessarily a bad thing? Like, if you think about it, maybe you missed out on some of these, and it's a great opportunity to get these cabs maybe with a better form factor. So what do you guys think of the rehashes? Are you with like some of the people in the community being like, we need new titles? Or are you excited to see some of these cabs come back? Let's start with you, PD7.
I think it's great having new form factors. So, and FOMO just will take over with me. So seeing an XL Pac-Man, we're going to get a Costco membership tomorrow. I just want to see it,
Yeah.
He got us going with this. That he called 3 different Costcos and they all confirmed that they're going to have them. And I'm not saying I'm going to get Pac-Man, but it would look good next to Class 81, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 19K Fox said you can have different size arcades. You don't have to have the same cabinets right after another. Right? And in these new ones, it gets exciting. I want new releases as much as everybody. We want 90s, we want 80s, but it is cool to see different form factors.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. I agree completely. I know that P-Dubs, because, he likes to talk about how much goddamn money he has. He's going to be purchasing that XL Pac-Man. It's going to be in the loft. I guarantee.
How about you, bad guy? What do you think of this? The whole thing with the re-releases and slightly no new cabs. How do you feel about it?
I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, I think as long as they give you a reason to upgrade, like the NBA Jam thing was kind of okay. That what are they giving you extra? Even this new Street Fighter. Anybody who had the Yoga Flame or Shinkuduken probably has no real reason other than the look of it. Now, if like I plan on buying the Street Fighter, I think, because I don't own one, and I did upgrade Mortal Kombat because I had the Midway Legacies, and I was able to get online. So yeah, if they give you a reason to upgrade, I kind of wish that maybe they would have sprinkled a little bit more new titles in this year, and instead of being completely all rehashes. I mean, I think that would have satisfied a lot of people, but yeah, I don't think they're necessarily a bad thing, but I wish they would have just given us a couple more new titles.
Yeah. What about you, Biggie D?
So I think if they're doing something different, I like it. Like with the HS5 Deluxe, that Street Fighter that bad guy was just talking about. That one, it has piqued my interest, and I may get it because they're doing something different and new with that game deck and how it looks like the Dynamo cabinet. Now these deluxe cabinets, I'm not a huge fan of them doing a new deluxe and everything just for the riser or having no riser. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be interested in Street Fighter, but I probably won't buy any of these deluxe cabinets that they're redoing.
What about the Casino Cade, Biggie? You told everyone you were going to get the Casino Cade.
We're
Where's
going
the
to talk about
goddamn
the Casino
Cade?
Cade. We're going to talk about the Casino Cade in a minute, T-Roll.
So
Relax.
Casino Cade, yeah, that would, I guess, be a new release, technically, if we consider it an arcade, not a slot machine. But that I would only be interested in at the right price. My channel is all about deals, finding good deals out there. $2.99, $3.50, I might buy Wheel of Fortune.
All right, so you're cheap is what you're saying. All right, all right, we get it.
What
I'm a
about you,
smart
Garage
shopper.
Gamer?
What's the question again?
What do you think of the rehashes compared to the new releases? Like, I think this is probably a good thing for you because you talked about it. You were like, I'm trying to buy less. So it's actually nice to get a break where you're like, no stress. I don't need to worry. I got these games already.
Yeah, it's got to really have a good pull on it. And I think Arcade 1-Up, they played it safe this year. And in my day job, I do ordering, and I've been counseled about or coached on people aren't buying big dollar items this year, and I've been forecasted that people aren't going to buy them next year either because of the economy.
Yeah.
People don't have as much discretionary income, and Arcade One Up I think knows this, and they've been playing it safe, and but the problem is I haven't bought anything from them this year. But we'll see. It's gotta have a real pull on me. So maybe if they do a House of the Dead, or I don't know. I'm intrigued to what they do, and but I'm also nervous because I've heard of things that's going on in the company. So we'll see. I like to stay positive, and I guess that's my answer.
Well, I think House of the Dead is a tough one. A lot of these, more harder to emulate games, like as we get up more technology-wise, it's a little bit tougher for Arcade 1-Up because of the technology they have. Now with the emergence of these rock chips, it's going to get a lot easier because these are going to be more powerful, so they can do that. But they still have to find the commercial emulators to do it. There might be emulators out there. Like we all, might have sneaky, emulators on our computers and sneaky ROMs that we can play for stuff. But, they just can't go and get like one of these, community emulators. They actually have to buy a commercial one. So is there a commercial emulator available that actually does House of the Dead? So it's all complicated. We'll see what the future brings. Hopefully some cool stuff will come out that we aren't expecting. Cornercade, I haven't asked you yet, right?
Correct, yeah.
You see, I usually go in order, so I know, but I went out of order this time, and now I'm all discombobulated.
No, you're good. Okay, so long and short, I think the re-releases are a good thing for people that are just getting into the community. Think about it, Mike. Like, if they re-release Frogger, like, with that new body style, it'd be unbelievable. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. And that's just Frogger. So, like, NBA Jam looks so much better. I think at the end of the day, I just wish that they would have made these 4-player, 2-player cabs. So think about like an X-Men with the new form factor. It's a little bit taller now. They can fix that marquee with the reverse acrylic printed. It'd probably not have a deck protector because it looks like that's the way they're going to go. And then you get the light up coin door or whatever, and it's a 2-player. So now I can fit that better into my arcade instead of having all these 4-player control panels. So I think it's a good thing at the end of the day, but you can't just like go 90% that way and 10% to like the hardcores, because like I stated, with Travis, who was joining me for a podcast, I said, if they could do 4 new titles, that's one every 3 months of like, a Sega Jurassic Park shooter, Sega Star Wars trilogy, mixed in with having, 2 re-releases of, just the said cabinet, so they can kind of redo the body styles, get people to rebuy them because they want to upgrade to that deluxe form factor, being taller and just new features. I think overall it would be great for the company, but it just looks like that, there's only like 2 new titles. That's not going to cut it. It'll make people lose interest quick. I mean, 1 title every 6 months, that's not good. So I do think the re-releases are good, but you got to mix in stuff for the hardcores as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's really interesting. Really quickly, we got a super chat here from Kevin Clausen, $5. Could someone on the panel transition to this super chat, 19K Fox style? Love the entertainment, guys.
I don't think we could do it as good as Fox.
No,
I mean, no matter what we
can.
do. I mean, it would just be disappointing if we tried. But you know what's not disappointing is a $5 super chat from Kevin Clausen.
There you go.
All right.
Great job.
T-Roll, what do you think of the re-releases, my man?
They suck. We want new games.
So no one here is like,
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that Mrs. Cornercade in the chat? I gotta make sure I'm looking. Cornercade, hold on. Unlike Danny, Mrs. Cornercade, I still got all my hair right here.
Whoa.
Listen,
you better chill out.
Shots.
Shove you back in that box, bro.
Shots. Hi.
So
funny.
One thing. Oh my God.
Woo!
One thing.
Mrs. Cornercade is here.
One thing I do. Oh my God. One thing I do like say when I see this stuff is like, sometimes it's easy for us because like we've got these big arcades, we've got most of these titles to be like, oh shit, man, like they're bringing out this game again. But it is a really good thing. Like, I don't know when everybody started collecting these, but like, I'm sure there's ones where you're like, geez, I wish I could still get that. Like, I wish I could go back and get a Centipede with the correct screen. So, I mean, there is benefits of re-releases. So the next question I want to ask, if there's more re-releases coming, which I think there will be coming in the deluxe form factor, what's a cab you think they absolutely should re-release? Biggie D, we'll start with you, my man.
Yeah, so one that I've been speaking on that I think is going to be the next deluxe is Golden Tee, because it just makes sense. They've done that one a couple times. They did the XL. They're probably going to do a deluxe form factor of it. Just like NBA Jam, they'll follow that same format, I think.
Yeah, that's a smart one. What about you, PD7?
It has to be Turtles. If they're going to redo it in XL, Turtles all the way. That will sell.
You, Garage Gamer?
I guess my simple answer would be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
In a deluxe form factor.
In a deluxe form factor, that would definitely sell.
It will be online day one.
Yeah, even though there's other YouTubers that say that the gameplay is terrible, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
do you play online?
Not too much, but when I have, it's been great. I just did the update. There's some new update for I guess Marvel vs. Capcom 1, but
yeah,
I
think a lot of times there's different expectations for the quality of these things. Like certain people look at it that are huge arcade collectors and fans and be like, oh, this isn't, exactly like the arcade. It's the same with like the fighting game community too. Like people expect very specific things, that this has to be like tournament ready. One of the big things with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is they went in a direction where they didn't use rollback. So they're using a different system. And that seems to be the big point of contention for most people, the way the online works and how the fighting experience works. So that's seems to be why everybody complains about it.
Oh, and I also want to say Frogger Deluxe, Michael B. I know
yes. Yes.
I know long-time viewers of your channel, they want that to happen. So come on, Arcade 1-Up, let's make it happen. Frogger Deluxe in a 19-inch screen or whatever. Do it. It'd be amazing.
With the right art. With the right art. The Sega art. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
No Vaseline filter.
Oh man, that's
just
what
have the option. You can turn it on or off.
Yeah, and like I don't care if there's a Vaseline filter on there as long as I can turn it off. Like the fact that was fixed, and it sucks too. Those 3 games on that cab were awesome. Like I know Frogger didn't have the right music, but it was still Frogger. It played really well. Then of course you also had Time Pilot and Time Pilot 84. If you've never played them, oh so good. Time Crisis, that Frogger cab was awesome. It's just it's kind of hard to justify when it looks so shitty. It's got the Vaseline filter, and then there's other cool stuff you want to bring into your arcade. But I love that Frogger cab. Justice for Frogger. Bad Guy Mike Worley, if they have to re-release some cab, what do you think absolutely they have to do?
I'm with PD7, and we mentioned it earlier. I'm going with Turtles.
Yeah.
As long as they have the original artwork, make it an XL form factor. If they can somehow sneak Shredder's Revenge in there, that would be a nice little bonus. I think a lot of people would buy that up.
Corner Cave, what about you, brother?
Let me ask you just a quick question. Would you guys want that still 4-player control panel, or would you want them to kind of shrink it down a little?
Gotta
be 4-player. Every 4-player.
Has to be 4-player.
Okay, that's what I was just asking. Yeah, I know one that will never happen now because they lost the title, but Killer Instinct would be dope under the new form factors that they have, because the control panel will be slanted. They'll get the marquee fixed. I think there's a lot of cool things that they could have done with that, but I'll spray into a different direction. Just kind of switch it up. I think it'd be cool to do an Atari Legacy, that like Centipede, for example, but kind of reskin it to a Crystal Castles. That'd be a day one buy for me. Get the right screen on there, but either do a Crystal Castles cab or do the Centipede with the right screen on there. That'd be really cool.
Crystal Castles would be absolutely beautiful. It's just I can't imagine them going to Walmart and they said, we've got the iconic Crystal Castles to sell. And then Walmart's like, what the hell is that? All right. So Zohar is telling me I missed his super chat, but little does he know, I've had it right here waiting to bring it up. I would love to hear from the panel what they will do when Arcade 1-Up is over with next year. Will they sell all their Arcade 1-Ups since online won't be available? Oh, Zohar. We'll talk about that in a bit. There's this YouTuber, this guy P-Dub's Arcade Loft. Man, this guy is some blowhard. He's got this theory out there that 1UP is going to sell off their company. We'll talk about it in
Such
a
a
bit.
downer. That guy.
Such a downer. Bummer, man. Thank you for the super chat, Zohar. And then also Stringer Films. T-Roll always has blue balls. That is accurate. That is true. Thank you for the super chat, my man.
How'd you know that, you son of a bitch?
And Zohar also said, you missed Stringers in my super chat. No, I didn't. Thank you very much, Zohar. All right, guys. Nerd Lounge Master was laughing. The next one I want to get to is the Casino-cade. So the Casino-cade is kind of a funny thing here right now because a lot of people are saying, why'd they make this? Because we're talking about it. We're saying there's only 2 new releases this year. Technically, there's 3 with the Casino-cade. This is a new product from Arcade 1UP. It is a deluxe cab. It's meant to go in your game room and be like kind of an auxiliary item. Kind of want to go through the panel, ask your thoughts on the Wheel of Fortune Casino-cade. Is it something you're interested or why you're not interested? Let's start with you, Cornercade.
So we'll be doing a review and an unboxing on it. But only.
Oh, you have it already, don't you?
No, I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. The second it gets in, though, we're going live. Yeah. So, but I think what this is like, my friend that's getting it is it's bringing a new fan base into Arcade 1UP. He's never had an Arcade 1UP. He doesn't know anything about it. But surprisingly, when I told him about this, it was a day one buy for him because he has real casinos in his basement. So he thinks like, hey, this will be really cool for like the wife to hop on or whatever, and I don't have to lose money on it. So it's a little bit different. Like he's actually can lose money on his real machines that he has in his basement. So it's a different tie-in to what he's already doing. So, but it's not for me. It's not nostalgia. It's nothing I grew up on. So I'm out. Mrs. Cornercade would love to have it. So it's going to be really cool to see her get to play on it. I think it's just, again, it's targeting a different niche because us in the home arcade community, we're like 1 to 5% of what they're actually like selling to. Yeah. There's a huge fan base out there that love the Class of 81 Deluxe that came out, loves the Casino-cade, but we're like, we're good kind of thing. So
can I stop you for a second? Did you just say ninch? Like 9-inch nails?
No.
Do you mean niche?
Niche, yeah, niche, yeah.
I call it a niche market. Niche.
A niche market.
I've never heard ninch.
Hey, tomato, right? But yeah, it's just bringing in more fans for Arcade 1UP. So again, we hope that it does good. Not in turn that they make more Casino-cades, which they would. Yep. But hoping that they can generate some revenue to put towards like stupid stuff at the wall, like a Cubert, and sell it direct.
I want them to make a ton of money so they can do crazy stuff like make a Wacko or a Journey arcade, go really wild out there. So, Beg on Mike Worley, what do you think of this Casino-cade, brother?
I mean, I think it's ambitious on their part. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. You know, they're trying to branch out to a different market, different demographic. I mean, I don't really think it was we were not in mind whenever they designed this thing.
No.
And it's not going to come home. It's not going to take up a valuable spot in my game room. I mean, even if it was on like mega clearance sale, it's just not for me. I mean, it looks cool. I'll give it that. I mean, it's flashy. It's doing what it's intended to do, but I don't think we're the market that they were targeting.
Garage Gamer, Wheel of Fortune, this is not going to get you off your bend of not buying Arcade 1UPs?
Yeah, no. And I've got a friend who has a serious gambling addiction. Like, I'm talking serious. He literally like lives with his parents. He has no bills except for like a cell phone. And he goes to the casino every week and he wastes all his money. And I'll come to him and say, hey, are you working for free today? Pretty much because you lost all your money again. Like, and it's just like it's like a cycle, and you get that. I don't know. It's crazy, and I can't talk him out of it. But I show him.
Is this the guy that eats Arby's all the time?
Yes.
Gets rid of the ball.
He's addicted
Arby's
to Arby's
and gambling, a winning combination.
I don't know. Yeah, how is Arby's still in business? It's him. But anyway, okay. So, but like I showed him it. He couldn't care less about this thing because it's not gonna give him that high. And I bet if you went to an actual casino, you show this to people, I don't think they're gonna be interested. So I almost like I see also what you guys are saying, like they want to branch out to new markets and new demographics, but have they really done the research on is this going to sell? Not maybe it will, but I think it's going to be a dud, and we'll see. I don't know. It's definitely not for me, but is it really for a gambler? Who is it for? Is it for grandma that's never going to leave the house anymore and just I don't know.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
I don't know.
Okay, PD7. What do you think of the casino cave, my man?
At $5.99, it's way too high.
It's steep, yeah.
The reason I bought the Golden Tee, you're gonna think this is absolutely crazy, but it's for the bowling game.
Yeah.
And the best part of the bowling game is you can get a game in like 3 minutes. So let's say you're preheating the oven, you're making a pizza, get in a couple of bowling games while you're waiting. That's why they did the Casino Cade. You play it for like 10 minutes, NBA Jam, NFL Blitz, 10, 12 minutes, and you're good. If it's cheaper than $5.99, they need to. We want Arcade One Up to do good, to be around, to give us what we want. They're going to have to sell to other people than us, and that's why they made this. But there is a place for this at what Biggie said, $2.99 to $3.50, $5.99 for a screen that big. And plus it's going to be shaky. You can tell when you look on the side of this, it's going to rock back and forth, and they're asking way too much for this.
So, have you guys ever seen Wacko Arcade in person, like the real Wacko Arcade cabinet?
No, I've never seen it.
No.
Oh, you got to see it. It's all misshapen. The control panel's awkward. It's all over the place. It's wild. After you get off this chat, go look up Wacko Arcade. Like, it's wild. So anyways, Stringer Film says, $2 super chat. Wacko was released in Wave 1 when all the parts were wrong. He's killing me. All right. So, Biggie D, you've already talked about it a little bit. At the price point, you're not interested. But this is a product you're really interested in. Tell us why.
Yeah, so I want to cover all things Arcade One Up, all things home arcade, because I want to grow my channel. I want to be as successful as I can be. And I know in order to do that, I'm going to have an audience bigger than just, what we cover in Arcade One Up typically. So I want to do something a little different. I've noticed not a lot of people were interested in it or covering it, so I wanted to use that as an opportunity. So I started focusing on it every week. I would speak about it up until its release. And I also thought it would do really well too. Yeah. And I think we've already started to see signs that it is doing well. And then the reviews I've seen are pretty good. People are happy with what they've gotten. I think the 4 Wheel of Fortune games that you get with it are all very good games. You can use this spin button. You have the touch screen. Everything looks and plays really good. Where it kind of falls apart are all the additional extra games you get, the unlockables. Yeah. Those games only seem to use the touch screen, which is very small. You're not actually using any of the buttons on the game deck at all. So there are some negatives with this, but as far as what you're getting right out the gate, out of the box, the 4 Wheel of Fortune games look and play good. And people are enjoying it. I've seen reviews early on, and then they're continuing to make videos because they're really enjoying it and they're wanting to share that.
So, T-Roll, is P-Dubs going to be picking up the Casino Cade? I heard rumors that he bashes it online, but he's actually a secret super fan.
That last sounds like P-Dubs there.
Okay. I gotta get back into character. Shut up, Mike. You messed me up, man.
I agree with Biggie D. The 4 people who bought the Casino Cade absolutely love it. All 4 of them. All 4 of them love it. And it is an amazing $200 product. I absolutely agree with you, Biggie D. It's a good thing they're selling it for $2. Oh, wait. $600? No, garbage. Boo, get it out.
Yeah, $600 is way too much. I thought it was going to be $499, but then they brought it out at $599. I was shocked by that. Really just trying to make an extra $100. It should have been $500 even, just like all the other deluxe cabinets.
Price point is one of the biggest problems, I think, with Arcade One Up over the last couple of years, on top of different quality issues, stuff like that. But price point, I think, is one of the big things that really turned the community off. Like, everybody was really happy at $399, and I think if they had to raise prices to jump to $499, we would have been okay with, but the massive jump up to $599 was really hard to swallow, I think. So that's one of the things. They've come back down with the deluxe cabs. They're back down to $499. $3.99 was that sweet spot, though, in my opinion. If they could have kept the cabs there, you would have had a lot happier community, a lot more forgiving of some of the things that have come up over the course of the past year.
Yeah, think about it, Mike. Like
$5.99.
just to jump in real quick, Mike. Like think about it. You bought Pac-Mania for what, $1.99, $2.99?
$2.99 Canadian, which works out to about 37 cents American. Yes.
We did the same thing. We bought the Dig Dug skin of that, knowing all of the issues that it was. But I'm like, $2.99. I can't pass it up. We're gonna throw a Joe Sabos marquee on that, and the screen. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So you just live with it. It's not that bad for a home arcade. I know $300 sounds crazy. What, you're just accepting $300, but for an arcade, yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I actually just recently bought my first Partycade, which is the Super Pac-Man Partycade. I've got, you can't really see it there now, but the reason I bought it was because TSC just clearanced them out. So it was $135 Canadian. And I was like, sure, I'll try it out for that. And I think once these go down, like it's like the $50 thing that happened in the States, the $75 Final Fight Big ED, like you said, you got. Once they're down to that price, they just start flying off the shelves. People are excited to get them. Like the $2.99. Remember the Amazon sales last year during Prime Day? $2.99 Ridge Racer, I think it was. $2.99 T2.
There were some $1.99 cabinets around that time as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. That's when people really start to build up their collection. And they get excited for 1-Up. Like my T2 video somehow has become my most successful arcade 1-Up video. It's approaching 100,000 views. And that's all residual due to Amazon sales. I'm 100% sure of it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you first got that and you put it together really, really quick before this was that Super Game Room dudes, and you were trying it out on the live stream.
Yeah.
I mean, these things take time to put together. I mean, I give you props for getting that done. I mean, the stress.
P-Dubs, that P-Dubs, he's a drill sergeant, man. Like, honestly, he takes no for an answer. He was like, you got that T2 cab done yet? And I was like, I don't think I'm going to get it done in time. He told me he was going to send people to my house to rough up my wife. I thought that was unnecessary, but...
Tell me about it, Mike. He puts his hand up my ass every single day.
I get a super chat here. Biggie D, this one's for you from Console Fanboy. He wants to know why there's a space behind you. Is that a space for a cab or just for... the look behind you, the aesthetics?
It's a pretty small room, actually. The space between the wall and where I'm sitting doesn't have a lot of room or space for me to walk by. So it kind of gives me an area to do that. But yeah, it's not a big area. I only have a total of 6 or 7 cabinets in my little apartment. So I'm not working with as much space as a lot of y'all out there.
I will tell you, I miss that Marvel Superheroes cab too. Not because like, I mean, most of the games run other cabs and I can play them online. They're, arguably better versions. I really miss Punisher. It broke my heart that they took Punisher off like all the Marvel cabs going forward.
Yeah, I was looking at the side panels just this weekend, or it was earlier this week, I mean. But the side panels are great. If you really look in there, you can see all the villains in there, Magneto. And it's great. I mean, it's one of the best side panel arts that you can get on an arcade 1-Up.
I agree. Got a $2 super chat here from Stringer Films. Murder, She Wrote, and Blood Pressure cabs coming in 2024. That's my favorite game I play at the, not the doctor's office, the drugstore, is the Blood Pressure game. And we've also got a super chat here from Kevin Clausen. Does T-Roll know how to steam clean a shirt?
I'm bought that stupid thing.
I will tell you right now, T-Roll, I am so mad that P-Dubs never did that joke I told him to do. Like, guys, admit it. Everybody would have found that funny if P-Dubs said, I got a huge reveal coming Friday, and he had a sheet over this giant box, and then when he pulled it off, it was a steamer. Like, that's funny. Do you really think people would have been mad?
Yes. Mad, angry. Selective outrage.
So, Mike, are you familiar with Emily at Arcade 1-Up?
Not familiar with her. Only I saw her on that show that she did about the Infinity Game Board.
Yeah. So I think the Casino-Cade, this is her first major project that she's worked on. And she's been working on it for over a year. And this is kind of like her first big project that she's done. So I'm happy for her. I think it's going to be successful. And we'll see it over time. But I see it selling well and doing well.
So I got a super chat I got to bring up here. But we asked the question, who is this for? And everybody said, man, the Casino-Cade isn't really for us. But here's the wacky thing. The Casino-cade is for us in a way, because you know who asked Arcade 1-Up to make like auxiliary items to fit in their arcade that aren't necessarily arcade cabinets? Us, this community. There's this one dork who wants them to make a dartboard. There's other people out there that want them to make crane games and other things like that. This is them trying to do that. So it's funny because it might not be the product for everybody. I've said it myself. I don't think I'm going to buy it. But there are people out there that bought it because they want to have other three-quarter activities in their arcade. And so if Arcade 1-Up did come out and do like some kind of dartboard, I still don't know how they would do it, T-Roll. But if they did some kind of dartboard, there's people out there that want these different activities in their game room in the three-quarter scale that kind of fits in with the arcades.
Yeah, just like having your racing cabinet and your shooting cabinet, this is something different.
Or the pinball machines.
Yeah, the pinball was a really nice touch. The only thing I didn't like about the pinball, which I've said from day one, I would have liked the pinball to be closer to what they were doing with their arcade cabinets. So it really shook me that, I mean, Zen is really good, but instead of going with real pinball machines and then maybe having like a couple tables on it, they were going to do the Zen thing, right? So we only really got the one real table release, which was Attack from Mars. Now, they're fine. Everybody likes them. The build quality of the pinball tables, like the actual physical feel and everything's really good. But of course, I mean, with the underpowered chips, they didn't bring us a very good version of Pinball FX. So it is what it is. Anybody still have a Arcade 1-Up pinball table?
I have one. I've got the
Yeah,
Attack from Mars.
Mine's currently down right now. PCB went.
Yeah,
I got Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Poor PCBs.
Yep.
I was told they weren't going to take a lot of stress. And I remember when people started modding them, and the first thing people told me is, yeah, good luck with those PCBs. And that, I can't tell you where that's from. I'm under NDA with the beta tester group. Well, it came from the beta tester group. So just be like all the people out there, like doing the mods and stuff like that. Be careful with your PCBs for those pinball tables. So.
Yeah, I've had to go through that, and the part I needed was out of stock, which was interesting. So I had to actually take the advice of a friend. He said, go on the Facebook group, post that your PCB went out. Hopefully someone will respond and have an extra one. Luckily I did, and there was a guy modding his Attack from Mars. He didn't need the PCB anymore. Yeah. He sent it out to me. It works great.
$1.99 super chat from Matt Astro Gaming. Looking forward to seeing most of you in Cleveland. So, which of you guys are going to the Cleveland Gaming Classic?
He said most of you. That means not all of you.
he assumes not all of us are going, is what he means. He's not being rude, T-Roll. Not everybody's you. Yeah. So, T-Roll, your buddy P-Dubs is going. Biggie D, you're going.
Yes,
Mike, you're going. Yep. PD7, are you headed to Cleveland?
Yeah, you bet.
Danny, we can't convince you to come, can we?
If someone could watch our kids, me and Mrs. Corner K would be there in a heartbeat.
Just bring them. Bob Boyf had all his kids there last year. It was great.
Guys, it would be a disaster. Like, we're coming from Wisconsin. The road trip alone would be exhausting.
Yeah.
But yeah, they would just like they're 1 and 3. Maybe if they were like 5 and 7, okay, I can get away with that. So they can like behave a little bit. But you know, when it's nap time, dude. You can't argue against that.
Yeah.
Well, next year we're going to Oregon. And we're going to go see Garage Gamer and go to that only Blockbuster
on Earth.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Is there really still a Blockbuster?
Yeah, there's one left.
I'm going to see if I can rent Dinosaur Peak. Wasn't that a Blockbuster exclusive?
Oh, surprise at Dinosaur Peak. It was, yeah. I actually have, this is one of the few things I haven't sold off from my old retro gaming stuff downstairs. I have a Blockbuster Virtual Boy rental box downstairs. So you know those black suitcases that Blockbuster used to have?
Yes.
Yep. The systems and stuff came in. I've got the Virtual Boy one downstairs.
Oh, man.
Keep it.
That's cool.
But what am I going to do with it? I don't have a Virtual Boy anymore. I don't walk around.
So Cleveland's coming up. It's less than a month, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be
We're
fun.
getting pretty excited about it now. So what we're going to do in the next little while, I mentioned it to you, Mike. I haven't really got on it because I'm useless and I get nothing done. But I want to start like a group chat for like all the people going and stuff like that. So we can kind of talk to each other and talk about going to the event. Now, of course, everybody's got their own friends. Like I'm not expecting for everybody to like hang out all the time together. But it'd be nice if we just threw numbers out, knew how to connect with each other if we're going to do events and stuff. So I'll try to get that Facebook page set up this week, or someone else can do it because I'm useless. That'd be great, but it'd be nice for us to get connected. No, all B does is set up spreadsheets and tell everybody what to do. That's all B does. $2 super chat from Zero Cool. Can the Blue Meanie play P-Dub's guitar?
Nope.
Can P-Dubs play guitar? I don't think he can.
No.
No, I didn't think so. Rights Retrocade says, anyone have a home bar with their arcade? That's a good question. So let's start. Garage Gamer, you're out in your garage. You got a bar out there too?
Oh, I wish. I am growing hops in my backyard.
Nice.
That are ready for harvesting. Some nice Willamette hops, and they would be perfect for a beautiful IPA, but I'm not there yet. But I'm getting there. That sounds like an amazing thing to do.
PD7?
It's in a spare room right next door. It's for everything. There's 3 in the basement, but there's 14 or 15 right next to me.
You have 14 or 15 bars in your house?
Oh, no,
like,
no.
Do you need help?
Sorry. Sorry, missed the question. I don't have a bar.
No.
They're all in a spare bedroom.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie D, I think you mentioned like that's a relatively small space. I'm guessing you don't have a bar hidden there.
Yeah, it's like a little townhome, it's really an apartment, but no bar here.
Let's all just say, does anybody have one? You just know, right? Like none of us do.
I have a refrigerator
I think it would
has
be cool,
beer
though.
and liquor in it, so
that's close enough.
Yeah, does that count?
Yeah, I
got my Xbox fridge.
Yeah,
P-Dubs has a taco bar. Fatty.
How many can you fit in the fridge, in the Xbox fridge?
Oh, I got one too. Not very many.
Not very many.
No.
I'd wait for that price to drop. I keep seeing it at Target.
Oh,
About
they went on.
$100.
They went on clearance here in Newfoundland, Canada. I got mine for $47 Christmas time. $47 Canadian. So.
Okay, how close is that burger place to you?
Oh, the food truck?
Yeah.
So the food truck used to be really far away, and then they expanded. So
they learned where their number one customer was.
Well, that's right. So you ever see the episode of The Simpsons where Homer's buying the hot dogs and he buys one at the graveyard? And Marge goes, "Do you follow my husband around, lady? He's putting my kids through college." Yeah, so that's basically me. I've set up the burger truck, so there's 4 trucks. I actually haven't had one in a couple of weeks now. I'm trying to go cold turkey, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, talking about those bars, though, I wish they would have made the tapper with the fridge in the riser.
I could have done without the fridge, but I have always wanted them to make a tapper. Like, I remember going on a very early episode of Game Time when it was Retro Buzz, and John D was on at the time, and Nostalgia was actually the guest while John D was there. And I was like yelling in the comments. I was like, make a tapper with Budweiser tapper, root beer tapper, and timber. Make it. And Cool Toy was like, relax. They're not going to do it. Stop asking.
So there you go. Instead of the casino cade, arcade went up 3/4 scale mini bars that we all can put in our home arcades.
One thing I would like to have though, like as I've got older, I don't really drink much. But what I really do like is like I love draft beer. I would love to have like a kegerator and just have like just a little bit of draft beer every now and then if I felt more on the line I wanted to have a drink. But that's luxury items. That's the kind of stuff people with pinball tables in their home have. I mean, I'm not one of those guys. Anyway, so Cleveland's coming up, and here's the interesting thing. There's lots of rumors about stuff that's happening in Cleveland. So we know that AtGames are possibly going to be bringing their new AtGames Legends Pinball 4K, maybe the ALU 4K. That's really exciting. Hopefully we get to check that out. But the one that's really interesting is there's all these unsubstantiated rumors, mostly coming from Stephen Haywood. The Rexer Show mentioned it, about New Wave Toys getting into the 3/4 scale market. So what do you guys think about that? Is that something like where you already have arcade one-ups? Is that exciting that there will be another option to buy a very similar product? T-Roll, will start with you because I haven't started with you all night.
Absolutely. This is something that this market needs. We have a monopoly right now. Arcade one-up monopoly. And more companies, the better. And maybe they'll make a Cubert and P-Dubs will shut the hell up.
Garage Gamer, is this something that makes you nervous? Have you ever bought any of the New Wave Toys cabs? Is that something that you're interested in? And do you think the quality in the 3/4 scale or around that size would be pretty good if it's real?
Oh yeah, so I bought the Street Fighter 2, although it fell in my garage and completely shattered, so I threw it away. I still have Tempest.
Yeah.
And then I've got the what's the other company out of Europe?
A Numbskull, quarter arcades.
Yeah, I bought their oh gosh, the Polybius. I have the Polybius. I think those look even better than the New Wave toys. But one of my best videos I ever put out was when I was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I interviewed, I got the guys on camera from New Wave Toys talking. I'm hoping to do that again this year. I don't see them getting into this space because
So you don't believe these rumors?
No, there's no way they can. I think Arcade 1-Up is really good at getting the price down, even though we think they're not. But New Wave Toys wants to be 100% accurate. There's no way I think they can ship. If they're already, like, what's the price on the ones they're doing right now?
$159 US.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem plausible to me that they can do an Arcade 1-Up size one and keep it. It's going to be like $1,000. I don't know. So, well, more power to them. I'd love to get. We need more competition, but I don't know if I see it happening. We'll see.
All right, PD7, what do you think? Do you think there's any water to these New Wave Toys, larger arcade cabinet rumors?
I think it's possible, and it's a way, like what T-Roll said, of us getting a Cubert. Arcade 1-Up's not going to do it. New Wave has proved that they can make these miniature cabinets, and they look really good. What if they did those 80s type of titles that we want? I mean, Arcade 1-Up, Biggie has a point about the raw thrills. If they're going to focus on newer games that we see at Dave & Buster's, what about another company? You get AtGames doing multi-cades, and then what if New Wave gave us those other cabinets that we add, like your MVSX, Danny, in your arcade, you have the MVSX, you have Arcade 1-Ups. Mike, you got an arcade behind you. If we have 4 different brands behind us, I mean, it'd be cool.
Mike Worley, what do you think? Any chance this rumor's true?
I think there is a chance. Yeah, I mean, I would like to see it. I think it would be great for the market to have some competition. I don't have any of the New Wave toys yet. I do have Ghosts and Goblins on order, and from what I've seen, boy, the accuracy to these things are crazy. And if they could come up with a 3/4 scale and figure out a way to keep it at $500 or less, I mean, you may only see one game on these things, though. That may be their way to do it. It's just it may be one game only. But if it's accurate to the arcade, I think people will buy them.
Biggie D's Arcade, do you think there's any truth to these rumors of New Wave Toys throwing their hat in the ring and trying to make bigger arcades?
It's really hard to picture it. Like Garage Gamer said, I think it's going to be really difficult for them to get into this. But they are advertising a major announcement. And I'm trying to think, what could it be if it's not that? What is a major announcement, or what could that be? So that leads me to believe it may be. But I would like to see them do it. I think more competition's good. Also, Arcade 1-Up, like PD7 just said, they're not going to be focused on 80s. They may put out 1 or 2 a year, new ones. But that's where New Wave Toys can find their place, is they can, make those games that Arcade 1-Up's not willing to make. Maybe even come to an agreement with them that, hey, we're going to take this, this 80s retro cabinet market, and maybe Arcade 1-Up is okay with that. They're not going to be doing them, so I don't see why they would want to hold the license.
Cornercade, what about you? Are you going to be buying some New Wave Toys, larger cabinets in the very near future?
I always said that would be cool. I always said if like another company came out with like a Sega Star Wars trilogy, I'd buy it in a heartbeat. It doesn't. My loyalty is not with Arcade 1-Up. My loyalty is with the home arcade titles the arcade titles that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Mike B, them doing a Survivor Series 3/4 scale like a distressed 3/4 scale cabinet. That'd be dope. That'd be a way to separate themselves from the competition, and then we could get the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania ones as well.
So, funny story, when we were joking about that on Super Game Room Dudes last night, if I ever sent you guys pictures of my first Mortal Kombat 2 arcade one-up that came, it was a Survivor Series cab. Like, the control panel had chunks out of it.
Completely
The
white.
side panels had scratches and chunks out of it. I don't know what happened in the factory, how any of that passed quality, but if you saw the condition of this Mortal Kombat 2 cab, that promptly went back to Walmart after I got it. Yeah, that Arcade 1-Up is the originator of the Survivor Series cabs.
It's so funny.
I was shocked to see that Survivor Series when that released. I was not expecting something like that.
No,
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really interesting take because, like, I mean, anybody that collects real arcades or even goes to some of these, free play arcades and stuff now, most of the stuff in the free play arcades, like, they restore them like pretty much immaculately before they put them out. But it is interesting to see the ones with the wear and tear on it. Like, when I first got my Tron real arcade before I had to give it back, the guy said you can go buy an arcade and stuff like that, and I was like, I like the dings and scratches. Like, it adds character, right? So, yeah, I think there's a market for those Survivor Series cabs. I think that's interesting. Console fanboy, relax, man. $1.99. Biggie D, can I buy your iArcade for $200? I don't think you're going to sell it.
No, this thing is very valuable to me right now with the ability to sideload games and everything Mystery Encoder's doing right now. I'm really happy I bought one when I did. I know Cornercade was really close to getting one. Do you wish you would have bought one now, Cornercade?
Probably not. I got to be honest with you. Like, I was thinking about it at that price point, but what was really holding me back, and I know it sounds crazy, was a no light up marquee. I think it would just stick out like a sore thumb. And I know you can put an aftermarket one from Etsy on there. It's just not the same. So I was like, it is cool, though, what Mystery Encoder is doing for the community and all of that. I think that's really, really cool to give back to everybody that owns that. But for me, though, it wasn't those banger titles that, like, I grew up on. That's, again, for me, I can only speak upon me. That's where the nostalgia hits. It doesn't hit with, like, Retromania Wrestling, even though it's cool. I can go get that on the the Nintendo Switch or something like that. I want to play like a T2 behind me or a Mortal Kombat on the right form factor control panel and all that stuff. So,
yeah, man. Like, listen, guys. The simple thing about this, there doesn't need to be any tribalism in home arcade or anything like that. But just play what you want. That's the most important thing. Play what you like. Let other people play what they like. So, I completely understand. I want that. Other people just like messing around. I know this is a show, Multicade Mondays. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of coverage on this iArcade mod over the next little while. But, that's fine. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Everybody just have fun. We get a super chat here from Stringer Films. I modded a New Wave oven into a Qbert. I don't know what he's talking about. And we also had a couple more down here. I want to make sure I got them all. Boo, 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 boo. Rights Retrocade, thank you very much, man. New Wave toys have different price tiered releases. What's to say they wouldn't do the same at the 3/4 scale with basic models, LEs for purists? And it's an interesting take. They could possibly do that. Ones that are better than the other ones. We'll see. I've kept you guys here a long time, so I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know, unlike me, you guys probably have lives, things to do, and stuff like that. It's like 3:00 in the morning here, so I won't keep you too much longer. But I do just really quickly talk about this theory that's out there right now about Arcade 1-Up selling. I know P-Dubs put a video out there, and I know people are kind of jumping to conclusions because there's these rumors that John D's gone and all that stuff. So what do you think? Do you think that this is maybe it's just one of those things where, we've just seen a decline in the market a little bit. Unfortunately, iArcade closed. Now there's rumors that John D is leaving Arcade 1-Up. Do you think there's a future for home arcade? Do you think that there's still a market for these 3/4 scale cabs for Arcade 1-Up? Is there still interest, or, is it in a decline period and the company might consider selling? Let's start with you, Biggie D's Arcade.
I think it's still heading in the right direction. I mean, they did hit some bumps along the way, and there's been some things that didn't turn out so well last year and then early this year. But I think they're getting their feet back under them. I see things going in the right direction. I think there's always going to be a place for home arcade, but is there going to be a place for home arcade in like the mainstream market, you know, where everyone in every home has a home arcade in their house or their apartment? You know, I think it could get there. I mean, Arcade 1-Up is in a lot of retailers. They're in a lot of people's, you know, when they walk into the store, they're going to see them. They're going to be exposed to a lot of potential buyers. I think as long as that continues and we see them in Best Buy, we see them in Costco, or we see them in Kohl's, you know, all these places, they're going to have a chance. It's when those retailers pull back and they quit investing in them is when there's a problem. And we haven't seen that yet.
PD7, what do you think?
Every walk and talk that I do, and what Biggie said, if there's Arcade 1-Ups at that store, people go up to them, they want to play them. And it's something I try to point out without getting weird or crossing the line with that certain individual. But that's what it draws people going to a retro arcade, all ages, draws people. And there's always going to be a place for games, home arcades. I think in the future, it moves to a multi-cade. And I mean, you know, a couple years down the road from there, that's probably where we go. But right now, even if Arcade 1-Up was sold, iArcade went out of business, and now those first gens are hot. You and I can't do anything with our golds, but if we had a first gen like Biggie, we could add whatever we wanted right now. I mean, it just goes to show you, just changes happen. AtGames comes out of nowhere, gets Killer Instinct. You know, I think there's a few years left here, and we'll see where the home arcades go.
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of trying to sell my gold cabinet. I'm trying to be patient. I've been talking to Mystery Encoder, but I don't have a lot of faith.
When you said that you were thinking about moving up your NBA Jam and Golden Tee behind you, I knew you were going to move out that iArcade. And, you know, I love my iArcade, and I'm thinking the same thing. Like, we have to get rid of something to bring Time Crisis in. And, you know, I don't want to. I like the iArcade, but, you know, there comes a time when you got to be really selective with what you have.
Yeah, there's no guarantee they're going to get those gold cabinets modded. You know, they're still trying to work that out. So I would say stick with it a little longer and see what happens. But, yeah, we don't have anything yet.
Garage Gamer, do you think there's still runway on this whole hobby? Do you think there's still room for Arcade 1-Up? Do you think that there's a path forward for home arcade?
There is, but I think they need to listen to their hardcore audience, and it's pretty apparent to me that they haven't been lately. And I go into Walmart, and there's no more Arcade 1-Ups at all. It's like I go to that aisle where they used to have the risers, and then they'd have Simpsons for over a year or whatever, Mortal Kombat. They've got all computer TVs right there. So that is kind of concerning to me. So it's almost like, is Walmart still on board? And I just feel like hopefully the company is going to listen to its more hardcore fans, that the people that have bought the most of these, because it feels like they haven't lately. And, you know, I used to be a part of the Arcade 1-Up beta program. I'm not anymore because I felt like I was just left in the wind. And so we'll see. I hope them the best. But, man, we need something exciting, and maybe that's coming, Michael B, because you know. But
I can't say anything, yeah.
I always like to stay positive. So, but, yeah, it's been a hard year. Yeah.
Mike Worley, what about you? Do you think there's still traction in this whole hobby? Do you think there's any, you know, this P-Dubs guy, he's always throwing wild speculation out there. Do you think that there's any concept behind this company being bought out? Or is it full steam ahead for Arcade 1-Up and there's still a market for these things?
I do think there's still a market. I don't think the three-quarter market's going anywhere. I mean, we may have a new player in the game here in a month, you know what I mean? So, and even if Arcade 1-Up does get sold, I don't see any major changes happening. But if New Toys does come in, I mean, maybe it'll push them a little bit. You know, maybe they do need pushed, and it could keep the market going.
T-Roll took my video down. The reason why I left that up was I wanted to get everybody a chance to speak. Everybody wish Constorm Entertainment a very happy birthday. It was his birthday today. Happy birthday,
birthday.
Constorm
Happy
Entertainment.
Happy birthday.
Danny, what about you? I didn't get to you yet, did I?
No, not yet. I think retro gaming is up and up, and it's on the rise. I forgot the name of the movie, but Retro Ralph was in a movie that starred this whole
Tokens
upbringing.
Taverns, yeah.
There you go, yeah. So I think personally, just from looking at everything, I don't have sales numbers or anything like that. I think it's on the rise. I think just Arcade 1UP needs to stop always just selling to the retailers, and they need to do more like direct to consumer. Even if it's $250 of Qbert and that's it, you got to pay for shipping, $100, whatever. Sell to the retailers all day, but you got to mix in those other titles for people that don't want the Mortal Kombat for the 50th time. So I don't think it's going anywhere. And I think if there's new companies that are coming in, I think that would help push them a little bit to want to get creative with that. I mean, guys, everybody on the panel here, Sega Star Wars Trilogy, day one, they made 20,000 cabs. They'd be sold out in an hour. I don't know why we're not doing this. Like, how does a retailer not know what Sega Star Wars Trilogy is? Like, release it on the main.
There's hardware limitations too with the PCB. But next year,
I asked Travis, and Travis said they can do it right now.
They can.
Yeah, they can do it right now.
Yep.
I can't say. Anyways,
No, it's okay. Yeah, you can't say.
I'm still having a hard time
saying
with Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah. Well,
Start saving our money. Okay.
So, like, what a lot of people don't know is like how this process works, and I've been lucky enough that, like, I've talked to John D. I've talked to the people, so I kind of understand how the sandwich is made, but not exactly. So, I think the smallest production run Arcade 1UP can do is 1,000 units. So, right now, or maybe 500, because I think they did somewhere between 500 and 1,000 Killer Instinct Pros. Can somebody correct me on that? Was it 500 or was it 1,000?
It's 500.
500.
Yeah.
500. So, but I think with the 3/4, their lowest production run is about 1,000 cabs. So that's the lowest production run they would have to do. So in order for them to do Star Wars Trilogy, that license is super, super, super expensive. And there's only one game on that cab. They can't put anything else on it. It would just be Sega Star Wars. So I think there's a very high risk quotient of whether or not they can get that money back from doing the cab. So they could do it. But you're talking multi-million-dollar licensing fee. And will they make it back on whatever run they do? Like you say, 20,000. Is that enough to, pay back the licensing fee? I mean, they might have to pay, $8 million for Mortal Kombat. But they know they're going to do 19 runs
Every
of Mortal
year,
Kombat Deluxes, and they can, spread that expense over each run instead of all that expense up front on one production run. So I think maybe that's why.
Was the Atari Star Wars, was that one cheaper because it was Atari, not Sega?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Because
Those
they ended up
games were made in
re-releasing
the
it,
80s where Sega's Trilogy was made in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. So it's just totally different ballpark, totally different. You're talking two decades of difference between those games. But it would be in a very expensive cabinet. I think if they were to do it, a Pro Series cabinet would be the best.
But how many people are going to buy that?
Yeah.
That's the price. Yeah, the price point.
Yeah.
Well, I think the most important thing to take away from this broadcast tonight is that Michael B. the Game Genie has confirmed Sega Star Wars Trilogy for next year. It's confirmed! Don't let him lie to you! It's happening!
God damn you, T-Roll. God damn. I haven't. The Sega Star Wars Trilogy is not coming. I will openly tell you that. That's not on the radar from what I've seen so far. So
we could technically ask you all the titles, and you can just say no. Then
no,
you can just say no.
So I will tell
Canadian,
you.
you can't
I will
lie.
tell you if I have some kind of inkling something's coming, I won't do speculation videos on it. That's the way it works. If I know something, someone told me something in confidence, I won't make content on it. So if you see a video from me saying, "Will they make a Double Dragon cabinet?" There's a pretty good chance it's not coming.
That's good insight to know.
All right, guys. So I've kept everybody long enough. Really quickly, I want to thank everybody so much for being on here. Do you have anything that you want to pin? Recently released video, anything like that you guys want to say on the way out? Tell someone to check out or anything like that? Let's start with you, Cornercade.
Yeah, guys. So we recently just been going live. We used to just do our content on live videos, but they weren't like live to the community where we can engage with you guys. So it's really, really cool that we've been able to do that. Talk to the community. You get to see us on camera, just like this stuff here, which I'm really appreciative of Mike B, you having us all on. It was really cool. I appreciate all of the time that was put in this. I know it's really late for you up in the Netherlands.
It's 1:15 here in the Netherlands.
Yeah. So yeah, so check out the channel, guys. We're 9 subs away, like I said, from 900. Our channel continues to grow at a rapid pace. It's really cool. The home arcade community is probably the best. I always say it in every chat that I truly love all of you guys. You guys opened us up with open arms, and we just love every minute of it. So go check out the channel. It's the Cornercade, and we have videos literally constantly, all the time.
Mike Worley, what's happening in your world?
Phil, sorry, I may steal your thunder here, but you probably know where I'm going with this. Arcades Anonymous. Okay, we had a great group of guys. We finally all came together and formed one channel called Arcades Anonymous, and we stream every Wednesday night. Yes, a great group of guys. We're, I think, planning a giveaway at 500 subs. We still got a little ways to go yet because the channel's still really new. But yep, Arcades Anonymous.
Garage Gamer, not on Instagram. Tell them about what new things do you have on YouTube? Do you have any honest reviews people should check out?
All the time. No, I just put up a review, an unboxing of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge collector's edition, or whatever they called it. I wasn't too happy with it, so give it a whirl, you guys. I'm trying to put out 2 videos a week now, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm now at over 500 subs, so thank you.
Congratulations.
And, I got partially monetized last month after I had my meltdown on Twitter, so
very nice.
You guys know what I'm talking about. I got some subs out of that, so thank you. So maybe I need to do more of that. But coming up in 2 weeks, I'm going to PAX West.
Nice.
And I got a ticket to Nintendo Live somehow. So I'm hoping to play some new Nintendo games, and we'll see. So that's in Seattle in 2 weeks. So I'm really pumped for that, and maybe I'm hopefully I can make some quick videos on some different companies that are going to be there. Sega's going to be there, Bandai Namco. There's going to be some other ones. A lot of indie game developers will be there. So maybe if I see a game there that catches my eye, I'll do something on it. I'm hoping. So we'll see. So anyway, I appreciate all you guys, and Arcades Anonymous. Also, I'll give those guys a shout out. I'm kind of like their backup probably guy for them if someone calls in sick. But they have a great show on Wednesday nights. So go give them a sub, you guys.
So I'm going to do you a favor. Next time you got to write a review like that for Shredder's Revenge. Here's your title. Disappointment, She Wrote. It writes itself. That's $1 million title right there. Disappointment, She Wrote.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, PD7.
And
hit us up.
And check out Garage Gamer's Instagram. He posts some awesome toys.
Yeah.
Especially Star Trek, The Next Generation. Like whenever I see these toys, I think of him immediately, and I'll like make sure I get some of it on camera. He's got a great.
Don't tell my wife.
I wanna also, Mike, Arcades Anonymous, check out the channel, please subscribe, and thank you, Kevin Clausen, for subscribing. I just saw that comment. Check out Nerd Lounge Master 84, Chaotic BPR, Multicade Matt. I mean, one of the smartest guys out there. Check out his videos. Check out his House of the Dead video. It's amazing. G.I. Joel, and of course the bad guy Mike Worley. It's a great group of guys, and I'm privileged to be a part of it.
What game you got playing on the TV there in the background? Is that NES Batman or Sega Genesis Batman?
It's the arcade Batman.
Ooh, arcade Batman. I've never played that. Is it good?
Actually, I haven't either until I got this Bobby Sarah. Like, I wasn't familiar with that. I played the Sega, which is one of the hardest games, with the Game Genie.
Yeah.
It was a hard one to beat, but yeah, I played that a couple of nights ago.
Which one? The Sega one was hard?
With the Game Genie, yes.
Okay.
That final board where you're going up that tower to get the Joker, like.
Oh, that's the. I'm so confused now. You're talking about the NES game.
Sega Genesis, same game.
They have the Sunsoft Batman NES game, but 16-bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Michael B loves that original.
I'm going to check that out later. Yeah, I love Batman on the NES.
Same here. That's one of my favorite games for the NES.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to check this out. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the arcade ROMs right there. I actually played that, and that, if you remember the Superman arcade game where you had the 1-player and the 2-player, the 2-player was red, and it was rumored that was Shazam. Really cool games on here. I want to thank Bobby Fu for giving me this. Working on a review for this, but there's like 41,000 games on his Bobby Sarah. Check out his video. He'll show you how to get all this stuff.
Do you know at the end of Black Adam, the 2-player is supposed to be Shazam as well, but instead The Rock ruined the entire DC franchise?
Well, it's disappointing because they bring in Henry Cavill at the end, and then you watch. I just don't know what DC's doing.
These guys can talk about movies forever.
More Michael Keaton Batman. That's all I gotta say.
Oh man, that was the rumor, right? If this did well in theaters, they were going to do a Batman Beyond series with Michael Keaton.
Boy,
it was all lined up. Oh,
yep.
The only thing.
Take my money.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll get together another time to talk about movies because I could be here all night. Anyways, Biggie D, what do you got coming up in the pipeline you want to tell people about?
Yeah, so every Sunday night, 7:15 Pacific, 10:15 Eastern, I have a live stream. That'll go for about an hour and a half. We talk Arcade 1-Up, AtGames, anything home arcade related. We'll do news and just kind of bring up the comments and get the audience engaged. And if they want to say something, we'll cover it. And just kind of an open, to anyone that wants to bring up a topic. Sometimes we'll just go with that. But a lot of fun. I also do videos around the Phoenix area. I'll go to arcades and kind of do the walk and talk thing, but mainly just arcades. Yeah. And also I like to play the arcades and play the pinballs. So it gives me an opportunity to do content while having some fun. And then other than that, I spend most of my time watching you guys out there, Super Game Room dudes, pretty much everyone that's in this community. I'm watching you guys. I'm in the live streams chatting with you. So just having a good time with it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I don't know if you saw on the Arcade 1-Up, original Arcade 1-Up Facebook group and the official Arcade 1-Up Facebook group today, someone tried to start a Phoenix only buy, sell, and trade Facebook group.
Oh yeah.
First thing I said was they were like, "This is for Arizona residents only." So I typed in, "That's not very inclusive."
Yeah, I'm not a part of too many groups on Facebook. I'm on the original Arcade 1-Up Facebook group, the official iArcade group, and then the New Wave Toys, and that's it. I limit my social media kind of like Cornercade does, where I'm on YouTube and then a little bit of Facebook, and that's it.
I have too much social media. Social media has ruined my life. I'm a young man. T-Roll, put P-Dubs on screen. That's enough of you. Get out of here. Yes, T-Roll, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Yes.
There he is. P-Dub, say hello to everybody. You've been such a trooper, man.
Oh, dude, my arm
It's gotta be killing you.
hurts. No, you have no idea how bad my arm hurts right now from all that. Oh, jeez. Hey, Big.
His mic's on. This is the time I'll tell you. This is not the first time P-Dubs has spent an hour and 49 minutes with his hand up another guy's ass.
He's muted.
All that, and his mic's muted now. No way.
Dubs, we can't hear you.
AtGames cut him off.
This is the sound of silence.
So were we going to talk about who's buying Time Crisis before we end?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I meant to
Hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you
we
now,
got
buddy.
you.
All right, cool. Can you fix the view so
Yeah.
everyone?
Yes, hold on.
You know what I mean?
Here we go.
There we go.
All right, hang on. Let me try and get this thing recentered. All right, now hit the one here. Let's do this so people can actually see.
P-Dubs is better at this than I am.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Hey, Big. What'd you do?
There we go.
All right, here. Let's do this.
You can take the chat off the screen. There you go.
Hey!
There we go. There we go. Well, Mike, we want to be able to see everybody. You're wrapping up the show, my dude. You're wrapping up the show.
No, we're just about to get into Time Crisis price point.
Oh,
Forgot to
God.
talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
We got
Big-
still another hour to go.
Big, here, I got to switch windows here. That way I'm actually looking at the camera. Big shout out to this panel of guys. You guys were great sports. You guys are fantastic. Up and comers. You guys all work hard. And Mike B and I appreciate you and you guys coming on and all that stuff and having fun with our little murder puppet friend as well. But yeah, you guys are doing a great job. I follow all of these guys' channels. I subscribe to all of these guys' channels. And if I do it, that means you should do it. And if you don't do it, then that means you're a loser. So don't be a loser. Hit the subscribe button and follow all of these guys. All right. And big thanks to everyone for putting up with my shenanigans tonight. Mike, great job and all that stuff. And Biggie D, stop being a cheap ass. Go buy an arcade machine.
He's like, I'll get it when it's $75.
We're about to get into that.
$75.
I'm about to pay full price for my first
I
arcade
literally
machine.
have to go ice my shoulder. Do you have any idea what that was like for 90 freaking minutes? So,
Yeah, that's tough.
all right. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great night.
See you, P-Dubs.
See ya, P-Dubs.
P-Dubs.
Now I can put the chat back on the screen. So yeah, really quickly, guys. Time Crisis. Hopefully, we'll get an announcement soon. And what do you think the price point will be? I don't know this, so I can't speculate on that.
What do we think, or what do we want? Like, what's
Well,
reasonable
I mean,
here?
$3.99 is what we
I
want.
mean, no, I mean,
$2.99 would be fantastic.
I think $5.99 would be fair, but I think it's going to be $7.99 if we go with the GameFly League.
It scares me with the sentence. Those look top notch.
So we went into detail about the GameFly leak. That $7.99. Like, you got to understand, there's additional costs over in Europe, right? Like Australia, Europe, all that stuff. So like, people were doing the calculation. They were like $1,000. There's no way I'm buying this. And we were told in Canada it's going to be $8.99. So the conversion, usually the way Canada works with Arcade 1-Up prices, looks like $6.99, but the hope is it's going to be $5.99. So my guess, somewhere in that range, $5.99, $6.99. It's definitely not going to be $4.99.
Well, it's a day one purchase then, right, guys?
Pardon?
Is that cheap? It's a day one purchase then if it's that cheap, right, guys?
Yeah, I might get
$5.99,
one day one.
$6.99?
Yeah, that's reasonable. $7.99 is pushing it. I mean, that's what we paid for an arcade gold.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a lot of money.
Now, are you guys going to pre-order if Tuesday is when the pre-order starts, or are you going to wait till it releases to buy it? I'm going to wait.
It's a good question.
I'm going to
haven't
stick to the
decided
rule,
yet.
never pre-order.
I know
Yeah, no pre-order.
the chance of getting it 3 days before we can go to Best Buy and pick it up, does that mean anything?
Yeah.
Well, Garage Gamer, you live in California, so this might just end up on
live in
falling out of a
Oregon.
truck. Oh, you live in Oregon.
You
Why
always
did I
think
think
I
you
live in
lived in
California. You said that last time too.
Why don't you move to California so I don't get confused again?
If you live in Oregon, no sales tax.
Ah,
So I just wanted to put that out there. But
smart.
I'm not buying it. But what? I'm sorry. I'm getting tired here.
Me too, man.
What was the question?
Are you
Oh
getting
my
Time
God.
Are you
Crisis?
getting it?
No,
Are you getting
I'm not
the-
getting it. I'm getting a lot of other stuff. I've already budgeted for other games, special editions that are coming out. That whole pre-order thing. I'd love to do a video on that. If to pre-order or not to pre-order, because I've got a buddy who refuses to pre-order, and I'm just gonna put this out there. I pre-ordered Mortal Kombat, and I got a beta code for it. So if you didn't pre-order it, you didn't get the code. So there are some advantages to pre-ordering.
Yeah.
But
Anyway. I was so pissed off when it was Mortal Kombat. What was it? 11 came to Switch, and I went and picked it up day one, but I didn't pre-order. and they refused to give me the Shao Kahn code at GameStop. They were like, nope, you had to pre-order in order to get it. And I was like, oh, you dirty, dirty people. Just give me the code.
See, the thing is, Arcade 1-Up doesn't do any incentive when you pre-order. Actually, you get it later sometimes.
Did they give it? They gave out a hat once.
Oh,
for,
yeah. Blitz hat.
The Blitz, yeah.
Congratulations for ordering Blitz for $5.99. I just bought mine for $199 at, what was the store?
Remember, they got their Blitz like a week later, too, because it was showing up in stores before.
Well, the people that pre-ordered it didn't get it first. The people, they just randomly go into Walmart.
That happened
Shao
Marvel
Kahn
versus Capcom, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zohar's not happy with my pronunciation. Is it Shao Kahn or Shao Kahn?
Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn. Yeah.
What would be the pre-order incentive for Time Crisis?
I don't know. Maybe they'll do something.
A cup holder on the side.
Get a little cop badge.
Yeah, a cop badge.
So I'm interested to see how wide a release it is. Like Fast and the Furious, I was told one of the reasons it's not coming to Canada is because it was more of a limited release. Time Crisis is coming to retailers here in Canada, so I think it might be a bit of a more expansive release. I think there's a bit more time to make up your mind whether or not you want to get it or not. I am really interested to see what that price point will be when it comes out the door, because I know Justin's in the chat and he's saying it's going to be the same as Buck Hunter, but when I forget what it was, Big Buck Hunter was released here in Canada, one of the retailers from the Brick jumped in the fan pages and said, it's, I think, what is it, $7.99 for Big Buck Hunter Deluxe here in Canada. She jumped in there and said, add another $100 for Time Crisis. So that means when Time Crisis comes out, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more than the price point for Big Buck Hunter, which is $5.99. So that's my guess for the price point.
Slide on the gun, so that's probably going to raise the price a little bit.
Well, T2 is $6.99, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that's minimum.
It's got like a premium looking marquee too. The marquee's huge on this thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's the tallest cabinet, right? 70 inches.
Yeah, 2 inches higher than Big Blue.
How tall is the Killer Instinct Pro?
I love how you guys have measured all these. So you already know exactly which is.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's this.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but
I think Killer Instinct was 67.30 or something. It was weird. It was like an in-betweener. 60. It was 60 something.
And what do you think about Fast and Furious being sold out at Best Buy? Are they going to bring that back? Does that mean anything when Time Crisis comes out? Like,
that's a bit of a strange one. We were told it's not coming to Canada because it was a limited release. If it is sold out, which I don't know if it is, because Best Buy do weird things with their orders, like the Casino-cade day 2. I put up a post. I was like, holy shit, the Casino-cade sold out. But it wasn't. Best Buy had this weird thing where they just took down the pre-orders. So they're saying that Fast and Furious is sold out of Best Buy now, but they also said that like a week ago, and then all of a sudden more stock came up. So I'm not 100% sure it's sold out. But yeah, James Hates Everything says came back in stock yesterday. So again, weird Best Buy.
I can speak upon that just a little bit, like working for Best Buy.
I was going to say, do we have any Best Buy experts?
I can't say anything. I'm under NDA now. It's very weird. So guys, the whole time we have a system that like we could just log into. It's called Core Blue. You guys don't see that. It's only for us. I have special credentials and logins for that. And I saw the whole time they had Star Wars Atari available. It never sold out. The problem was it just got dropped from their website because somebody just didn't post it or they took it down. It was for $450 this entire time. Then somebody caught wind of it and said, oh shit, we got to put that back on the website. Sold out immediately. So like people thought that they were getting that like new re-release once the new one came out with the like, black tea molding and the side art throughout. But people were getting the 2019 version or whatever version that was. And it was just interesting to see. They had an Outrun cabinet on there. It was for $250 clearance stand-up. and I was always looking to see if that came back in stock. Never, yeah. So they just recently like started clearing out that junk of old inventory that was just kind of hanging around just because they had old SKUs on file. But yeah, it's very interesting to see how like the systematical glitches work, and that let's like, you know, did Casinocade only get released like 100 at a time, so they stopped scalpers or something, kind of like MVC2, or it's just weird like how it's all like the algorithm works, and like there's glitches that like Best Buy the company doesn't see until, you know, that new SKU comes in with like, wait, we were sitting on these like 800 Star Wars cabinets, we didn't even realize it, so we put that one back up along with the new ones. It's just very interesting to see.
But yeah, I heard somewhere Wheel of Fortune was supposed to be a Best Buy exclusive, and then it ended up on Kohl's, and now people are getting theirs through Kohl's, and Best Buy still hasn't shipped.
And that's a whole nother debate. That's the right hand from Arcade 1-Up talking to the left foot, and I'll always say this because it's not the right hand talking to the left hand. They're so far off with like their marketing and strategy, and it's amazing to see that they're like, hey, this is an exclusive, and then what do you mean? And the same thing happened with Blitz and a lot of other cabinets, and that's one thing that they really have to get corrected, because, you know, why would I order this Blitz through you guys when I could just go down to Walmart and get it right now, or vice versa? There's a whole like
$3.99.
Yeah, you're going down a whole wormhole now of just like it's kind of disappointing, because like we're getting ours through Best Buy, and then I could have already had it. You know, Brian the guy that's getting it could have had it 2 weeks ago. You know, if you just got it off HSN or something. So it's very interesting to see.
Anyways, guys, we've hit the 2-hour mark. It is officially Sunday here in the Netherlands where I live.
Sunday fun day.
It's only 9 o'clock here, guys.
I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you how long-winded I am and how long I would keep you. I bet you a lot of you are regretting now. They're like, "Oh, I'm never dealing with that Mike B again." Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, now when the summer's over and I start doing this more Saturday night streams, this is something you guys be willing to do again. Just come on, talk about arcades and stuff like that, and have a good time.
Of course.
Maybe we can talk about some movies too. I really want to get in that DC stuff.
Yeah,
you
and
bet.
mess that up. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Go check out all these guys. Go check out everybody. Don't just listen to the same people all the time. Listen to different people. And you guys, don't be afraid to make something just because somebody else already made it. Everybody loves different opinions. There's room for everybody. Good night, everybody. This is Michael B, and I'll see you sometime later. Goodbye.
See ya.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta remember where this is. You'd think I know how to use this yet.
Outro now.